Hey fellas, my name's Gary, GSM. Just joined the group August 22nd. Walked into a scenario where they use a Joe Verde 21-day course. It's the 6 steps, it's broken down. The nice thing about that is it's broken down so in depth that you can actually witness what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, and we can actually kind of focus real live time on those steps rather than it just being a repetitious cycle of 6 steps, 21 days. We're actually integrating, hey, this is what we're seeing, and if you do this, we again point out the positives. In addition to that, though, we also integrate F&I products, we integrate phone calls, again, witnessing, listening, seeing what's going right, what's going wrong. Our greatest opportunity right now, in my opinion, is a system that I ripped off, well, I didn't rip it off, but I'm copying from a group called Victory Automotive Group. It's more of a East Coast group, huge, pretty good sized group, about the size as our group now. And they have a program called Car Doctor. What Car Doctor is capitalizing on your service department. The leads there. Oftentimes my guys will stand on the point aimlessly for hours waiting for the up. And I'm sure a lot of your stores have the same thing. Whereas our service department is, the lobby's loaded. Now the GM has mandated, hey, you know, go work the service department. And what they think is, he says, go down, offer them a cup of coffee and try to make a friend. And that's a pretty good deal, but they all stray away from that, even though we can have 100 service customers and no traffic to speak of. They'll stay away from that because they're uncomfortable walking into a group setting, a lobby. Hi, can I get you a cup of coffee? Who would like to buy a car for the same payment or less? I mean, they don't want to do that. They feel the rejection of the crowd, the group, and things of that nature. What Car Doctor does, that's the group that I was telling you about, is they'll go out as the cars are coming into the service lane, and they'll do appraisals on them right then and there. And they'll target the cars that we want. We know what car, we don't want to target a car that says 16 or 17. We might, but chances are they're going to be brand new in it, a little upside down, whatever. And we know what we're going to turn the quickest in the used car department. So they can go out there and look at a 13, a 14, a 15 Subaru, which is gold, in Portland anyway. And they can do that. Then they can go offer the coffee, and can I get a granola bar, banana, apple, whatever. Oh, by the way, who owns the red 2015? Oh, well, that's me. And they're not really sure if you're part of the service department or what. And you can actually spark up a conversation. You know, I looked at your 2015. It's exactly what we're looking for. What if we could make the payment the same or less? Then their apprehension was, well, what if they don't have a payment? And they had not heard of, I'm sure you guys all know about them, but at my store, no one had been working a one-pay lease. Can we make the payment the same as someone who's not making any payments? Absolutely, for the first 3 years. What if you can drive a brand new car with no payments for 3 years? We'll just take your equity, roll it into a one-pay lease. The opportunity is gold in there, at least at my store. I don't know about yours, and you probably all have a good system, but we didn't. That was our greatest opportunity, is working the service department. In addition to our normal training that we hold upstairs. We spend 20 to 30 minutes every day. We have 3 different shifts. There's only one day that all 3 shifts are there, and that's Friday. And that's when we have our store sales rally. We have it at 1. All the shifts are there easily before 1 o'clock. One comes in at 8, one comes in at 10, one comes in at 12. The meeting's at 1. Everyone still has the opportunity to do one-on-one training with them regarding the 6 steps, or the paperwork, or the finance products, or the phones. And we do that, and we cycle through it. And it's like I said, we also have 3-ring notebooks. We also run into the same problems that most of you have probably with the experienced guys that think they know it all. But we have a very high turnover, and part of that has to do with probably our store's minis. It's only $75. So if a guy starts out and sells 9 cars, he's not going to even be eligible for all the spiffs and bonuses that go along with volume bonuses, CSI, things of that nature. So we have some turnover. The goal is to equip them well enough before they make their first check to get them exceeding, what they were accustomed to. And part of that has to do with training, showing them all the opportunities in service, as well as on the point, as well as on the phones. And I guess my final phase that I really push hard on, the first is service, but the second is building customers for life. And in the customers for life, I'm a huge proponent of sending out newsletters to clients every single month of the year and tagging it around. And some people say that's overkill. I don't think it is. I've seen people that sell 90 cars a month that do follow that program. In essence, they just tag it in with whatever holidays in that month. And there's a holiday in every cotton picking month. Happy New Year's, Happy Valentine's Day, you name it. And they can just kind of mirror that and then remind them about the referral fees and all the specials that we have. So that's pretty much where we're at, what we're doing right now.
Thank you, Gary. Who has, anybody have any questions for Gary? A couple hands.
You send newsletters to everyone who buys a car from you, new, used, in between?
Now, that's what we propose, but it's really the responsibility of the sales rep. We encourage it. Do you think it gets done? Not as often as it should be done. Not as often as it should be done.
So the salesperson is responsible to do that?
Yeah. They'll generate a letter, we'll approve it, and then we'll pay for the postage. I mean, just wish them, a Merry Christmas, for crying out loud. Would you like to get an extra $100 or whatever, or Happy New Year's or Happy Valentine's Day. Like I said, there's a holiday every single month. And I've seen guys that have done that they have lines of people. They don't take ups. I've been doing this for like 30 years. And all the guys that are in that position have pretty much maintained that customer for life program where they're staying in contact with their customers. I've had guys that call up their customers and say, hey, it's time to trade in your vehicle. Right now is when it's worth the most. They go, okay, Nick, I'll be right down. Customers for life.
Off train real quick because we're going through some turnover and stuff like that. Discussing pay plans. Minis, how many people have $100 minis? Is it more than that, or I just want to kind of get a feel of what?
200.
200 seems to be the.
Yeah.
I think 200 is the norm, and the problem if you get a brand new person, here's the reality in my opinion, and I'm not slamming my pay plan, because they have a lot of bonus opportunities after 10 cars, but if they don't get, a lot of people don't get 10 cars their first month. And the first month, if you invested all this training time into them, and they go, geez, I made minimum wage, this isn't for me. And that's on, and I believe that has a big part of our turnover. It's so ironic because they always say, man, I love this job. I love you guys. You guys are awesome. This just doesn't work for me. I got to pay my bills. So that's just something that we've encountered at my store. Yes, sir.
Well, one thing in regards to that we've done at Eastside Subaru is the first 90 days, new hires will get a minimum, instead of minimum wage, they either get the commission or they get $2,500. And that seems to have helped.
Well, we have we got a $2,000 guarantee too, but how much do you think minimum wage is right now in a month?
Yeah.
It's pretty close to the $2,000. So I mean, it's still the same scenario. They didn't come to work to make $2,000, guys. Came to make the kind of money we all make in this room. Any other questions?
I think that maybe all of us should probably pay attention to our pay plans. I know Taunton everybody should have a $200 mini, with the exception of maybe Acura. Is that right?
100.
100. But I think that for the most part, everybody kind of went to standardized pay plan throughout the Thompson organization. And I think it might be smart for everybody to maybe take a look at it again, because we do lose a lot of good people throughout the organization for having not so good pay plans. So,
Well, you know, I don't want to slam the pay plan that I'm on because it's very lucrative. After you do 10, there's lots of bonuses and there's factory incentive money if you sell 6 new. But again, I mean, a brand new person. So that's something that you really have to overcome. And the key element to that, I believe, is training them very well, very fast, so that they have a fighting chance to exceed that. And a lot of that is taking them off the point when they're just standing there trying to figure it out and somebody calls up 10 times faster than them. At our store, it's an open floor, up, you know, and away they go. But teaching them how to, if you teach them to do it the right way, they can hold gross. And they do, and we present, by the way, we present F&I products on our first pencil as well. We extended warranty, Lux Care, and Pulse. You know, sometimes we'll go for Clarebroth. I mean, if everything's going smooth, we're going to keep selling. So,
You want to take a new salesperson and make them a lifer. Don't have them just take ups. Teach them the things that the seasoned salespeople won't do. Talking to service customers, you know, texting and calling previous customers and stuff like that. Those customers, they're not expecting to be sold. They haven't done all their research. They're not coming in knowing all the ads. Those are usually pounders, big vouchers. Teach them to do that. We hired the new salesperson, got him to talk to service customers. His first day, he made $700. That's where the money's at. That's how you make them a lifer. Just have them do the things that the other salespeople won't do. And it's where the most money is anyways.
agreed. And you know, we put a lot of emphasis on the 6 steps on the presentation. Because obviously every Subaru store has the same car, the same price, the same financing, everything. The only thing that's different really is the presentation. Are they creating a memorable experience? You know, kind of, I look back on America's Got Talent, you know, where Simon Cowell goes, you know, that's a performance I'm not going to remember. Or he might say, now that's something I'm going to remember when I go home tomorrow. I'm going to be thinking about the performance you gave. I mean, that's the difference on whether or not they're going to sell a car, in my opinion. Good?
Anything else? All right, let's give him a hand.
Hey, Chad.